How many hours have you spent in the mirror saying "flame on"?
Like 1 hour, probably collectively.
Right.
Of flame-ons.
Do you want to give me a version that you're not going to do? What's the flame on we're not getting?
Oh, is it? Oh, what on?
Fine.
Flame. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. You got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Prepare your ears, humans. Happy, sad, confused begins now.
I'm Josh Horowitz, and today on Happy, Sad, Confused, Joseph Quinn is here. It was just about 2 years ago that Joe broke out in a huge way in Stranger Things, R.I.P. Eddie Munson, but he's alive and well today. He's a very busy man. A Quiet Place, Day 1. Gladiator 2 is around the corner, and just around the bend after that, Fantastic Four. He's making the time, though, today for The Important Things, a podcast. Welcome, Joe. It's good to see you, buddy.
Thank you for having me. It's lovely to be here.
Lots on your plate. We're going to cover a lot. First of all, I have to say, usually when I do my research, for a long form podcast interview, I'm like, oh my God, there's nothing left to talk about with somebody. They've been interviewed 1 million times. And certainly you've done a lot of press. I could not find long form podcasting with Joe Quinn. Have you not done this kind of thing?
I don't think I've done this kind of thing. I did one podcast a couple of years ago, and that was a long form thing. But yeah, I don't think I've done many of these.
Yeah, so when I have to go to the German Comic-Con bootleg video for research, I'm in trouble.
Yes. Yeah, they're out there, I guess.
They're out there.
You can find them.
You can find them. So talk to me a little bit about, first I want to start with when I first encountered you, and a lot of people did. I think I first met you, of course, as one meets somebody on a red carpet at the MTV Movie Awards.
Naturally,
right?
Yeah.
What do you remember of that time? That was insanity. From my perspective, I would imagine it must have felt very surreal for a number of reasons for you.
It was pretty insane. I mean, it was very funny. I was there with my pals, so I brought two friends from South London, and we went to the MTV Awards, and Snoop Dogg was there, and that was already a pretty surreal environment. But it was right during that kind of period when season 4 had just come out.
Yeah.
So it was certainly a kind of a shift in many ways. And hilarious to kind of watch it and to be able to experience it with some friends.
So
was
so that they could be like, just so you know, this is insane. In case you were not aware, this is insane.
It makes it all much funnier. Yeah.
Is it humbling at all when your co-stars are schooling you on what it's like to present at awards, and they're teenagers, when it's
It's massively humbling, but it's also quite educational. They are stone cold pros, those kids, and they've been doing it for years, and I definitely learned a lot from them. But it is humbling, yeah. Was
there anything of that time that you now look back on with shame or cringing? I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know.
Most of it, yes. I mean, the stuff that comes out of your mouth when you're not, when you're caught off guard is quite, a lot to cringe about, I think.
Give me one nightmare. Give me one. Okay, I presented an award. I was on a carpet. I did the wrong thing. I posed wrong. Is there anything that haunted you a little bit?
Oh God, is there anything that kind of is one kind of miscellany of cringe? I think it's just the whole.
That's the title of your autobiography you're working on, right?
Maybe one chapter of it, God willing.
Chapter 1.
Hopefully we wrap that up soon.
Yeah,
the cringe years. I think I met Taylor Swift once, and I said, "You're Taylor Swift," and she was very funny. She said something nice about the show, and I said, "Oh, thanks. You're Taylor Swift," meant as a compliment.
I mean, it is a compliment.
It's definitely a compliment. Yeah. And I remember thinking, that was fucking stupid. But she was very good-humoured about it. That's one thing. Yeah.
That's good. But you guys are on good terms now. She's forgiven and forgotten.
Excellent. Yeah. Great terms.
Yeah, you're on the next album.
Yeah.
Exclusive. Yeah. What happened to your eyes just now? They just went...
Well, we're trying to figure it out.
Right. By that you mean... She hasn't mentioned anything
at all. She hasn't, doesn't reach out at all.
Okay, again, since you're kind of a blank slate to me, I know the broad strokes, but we're going to go back first before we get to the current projects. Growing up, arts in the family, give me a sense. Are you the anomaly? Are you the unicorn?
Am I an anomaly or a unicorn? Well, both my parents worked in the business. My mum worked in television production.
Okay.
My stepdad was... he was a cinematographer, a DOP, and then my dad was a director. We didn't all live in the same house. My dad lived somewhere else, and my stepdad and my mum lived together. So I spend half my time.
If they did all live together, that'd be an
Wouldn't
awesome
that be
story. Great
a modern family
sitcom,
kind of situation. So I spent my time split between my mum and my stepdad, and then my dad, who lived in a flat somewhere else in South London. So
so exposed to the business a
very,
bit.
very exposed to it. Exposed to the kind of the circus of it, I guess.
Yeah.
The people leaving for long periods of time and then coming back and having these wonderful experiences, and the kind of that nomadic aspect of it. Also the kind of the how much time it takes, I guess. Like from Mum's perspective, it was very much watching her juggle all of these roles and getting something off the ground, and just kind of watching her elation when a week went well.
Yes.
You know, and that kind of idea felt very exciting to me. And then my stepdad had an extraordinary life and was very inspiring, and showed me a lot of films growing up. And then my dad was the same. He was very inspiring. So I was lucky. None of them were actors, though, which is great.
So what were the first obsessions, just as a fan, before you got serious about it, in terms of like actors, filmmakers, the stuff that you really kind of gravitated towards as a kid?
Well, my stepdad had it's David Odd is his name, and he had an extensive Laserdisc collection. Do you remember them?
No, of course. Yeah.
So it was in between VHS and DVDs, and so you'd have these massive rows of Laserdiscs, and you'd have these wonderful kind of art, like graphics.
Yeah.
So it was like a vinyl, but it was a DVD. And I remember him showing me. I watched Clockwork Orange far too young with him. I watched The Pianist with him, Nikita, The Fifth Element, like quite a lot of Luc Besson stuff, actually. Yeah, and he loved that kind of stuff, and that kind of. I remember watching The Fifth Element and thinking, like, this is so hilarious and transporting and brave, and it was one of those perfect collaborations from so many different HODs, like the John Paul Gaultier, the costume design, the performances. Like Chris Tucker just turns up like a freight train in that film.
The pitch of that voice is like it's a cartoon character. It's insane.
It's amazing, but like for it to be so elevated, and Ian Holm, who's like one of my favourite actors, just watching all of this kind of come together, and it be entertaining but also terrifying and captivating, was like, whoa. Like I remember that was a film, and then you've just got Bruce Willis in his kind of best era, where he's just an irrefutable movie star and hilarious, and just I remember just kind of when films just kind of tap into something where it hits a bullseye in a way that's just so sweet. I was like, how did they do that?
Right.
How did they make that? And so, yeah, from a pretty young age, I was never kind of hell-bent on wanting to be an actor, but I always found the lifestyle around it, like the idea of the variety that it can provide a life, really fascinating.
So when do you get serious about it? Do you remember, like, first time on stage, the first validation, the first sense of, oh wait, I have a
don't know if I've yet to get serious about it. You can't take it too seriously. Yeah. But I guess I started committing to the idea of it when I was about 17. I did a school play that went quite well, but previously I was kind of dossing around, and I did a play and it felt okay. I mean, I really didn't have any other options. Really. I mean, I would have had something. I guess I could have picked something else, but there was no other option that felt clear to me, that felt like something that was... Yeah, it felt like the only thing, in a way. I don't know. How about yourself?
This is barely an option at this point. This is all I got.
Right.
Being semi-coherent with a microphone.
Yeah.
I mean, look, talking about Luc Besson movies and great movies, this is the dream, so it's working out. But you obviously get serious about it because you go to drama school, and not just any drama school. Lambda's a major one. Talk to me about the environment there, because that's... a lot of great actors have come out of that. So by then, are you feeling like you're in your element? This is the path. I know what I'm doing.
It's a little saccharine to say, but I did really feel like I found my tribe
it's
there.
Okay to say it.
And it was an extraordinary 3 years. I was quite young, I was 18, so I just lapped it all up and really found a bunch of like-minded kind of actors are pretty weird, you know, and so there was a bunch of people there from all over the world, from all different walks of life, in one place, making mistakes, having a great time, partying, reading plays. I guess you're just exposed to so many different roles and at such a accelerated rate. So you finish one thing and then you're on to something else, which is like very rarely like that in the business. So that was a really great opportunity to kind of make mistakes, cut my teeth, and figure out stuff. There's amazing tools that you learn. Like it's a lot of voice work, lots of movement stuff, and that kind of can make you feel a little bit foolish. I guess that's what I learned most about drama school. It's like,
it's okay to...
You're gonna feel like an idiot in this thing a lot of the time.
Right.
And I think the sooner you can kind of make peace with that, and like you can't stunt your way through it. I can't anyway, try and muscle my way through with bravado and act like this stuff doesn't like matter. You're just gonna feel uncomfortable.
Sure. And the sooner you get used to that.
Get used to that. And so that was a really, really useful lesson. And I just had a great time there. Yeah, it was amazing.
Did you have a peer group that has kind of emerged in recent years? Because like I've kind of spoken to like the previous generation of like, you know, the Cumberbatches and the Hiddlestons and the McAvoys and all that group that are obviously a bit older than you, but you're in a different age group. I'm curious, like who broke first in that group for you? Was there somebody that was a peer that was like, oh, they've got it, and I'm gonna hopefully get to that level soon enough?
A peer group, like was there a peer at Lambda that I mean, there was so much talent there. It wasn't a case of there was someone that broke through, as it were. And I think that kind of if you get into the weeds of comparison in this thing, then you're gonna like get stuck. So I think everyone's on their own trajectory, and I think that there was certainly some people in the year above me, a couple of years above me, who were doing like amazing stuff. And I guess it's pretty ruthless, you know, the drama school system. It's like there's agents come and watch you, and then if you're lucky enough to get an agent, then you're out in the business, and you're like, those first 3 years are pretty kind of, it's like competitive. It's horrible to look at it like that, but it is competitive.
And are you working during that time, or is this one of the programs kind of where they discourage you from actually going out and doing work outside of theater?
They don't allow you to work. Yes, if you're going to work, you're going to leave, kind of thing. So you've got to stay there. Choice, the ethos at Lambda was very focused on the ensemble, so you had to be there. Like, and if you're off to do some audition, then how are you going to be there for the rest of your cast and your ensemble members? So it was that wasn't really an option. But then by the end of it, when you start getting an agent, or if you get an agent in your third year and you start auditioning, then you can get other work.
It seems like you hit the ground running pretty much, like did a bunch of theater, a bunch of TV in the years before Stranger Things, obviously. When you look back at that period of time, that I guess 6-7 years, what are the pivot points for you? What are the theater roles or films or TV that really changed? Just your approach, your awareness of the business, your awareness of the craft?
Well, it's a culmination of all the experiences that shape you, I suppose. I think I was so fortunate when I left Lambda. I got a BBC job. It was called Dickensian. And it was a 6-month job, and there were some brilliant actors in there. Stephen Ray, Pauline Collins, like some just real top draw, like amazing British actors in there, and Irish actors. And just I got to learn and be on a film set for 6 months. And Tony Jordan, who gave me the job, I'm massively indebted to him. It was a real education, because it's one thing doing it at drama school, it's another thing doing it in a professional environment.
Working with a camera, marks, that's a whole different skill set.
It's a completely different thing, and I really looked at it as an apprenticeship in a way. And I think the culture of apprenticeship around this business now is really it's kind of gone. Before, we could join in the UK repertory theatres or things like that, and I think that there is such a rush now, which is indicative of just like culture now, where society is like we just have to have everything straight away, where you've got to kind of earn your stripes, I think, in this thing. And also, you don't want to get breakthrough, or whatever these words are, too early, because it's confusing. It's very confusing. And I think having some experience before has, not to say that I had any, but it's been helpful, I think, to kind of navigate whatever the fuck's going on.
Of course. No, I mean, again, like to go back to like those kids on Stranger Things, like it's so discombobulating. It's amazing they're all as well adjusted seemingly as they are, because it's discombobulating for an adult, like a relatively fully formed adult, to go through what you've gone through, let alone a 12-year-old. Like insanity.
To have gone through what I've gone through. By no means do I want to put myself on any kind of cross here. Like,
no. It's great problems to have.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's extraordinary, and I feel incredibly blessed. But there is definitely kind of aspects of it that are confusing. But what you said about were there any pivotal jobs? I think if you're fortunate enough to have a kind of a range in your career, whether it's like theatre, TV, film, video games, whatever, you pick up. It's like life. You learn from every experience, and I think what's wonderful about this job is like you're taken out of your comfort zone, even though it might seem like it's a comfortable thing.
Right.
You're taken out of your comfort zone, and you're collaborating with people that you don't really know. And as a result of that collaboration, and as a result of kind of being out of your comfort zone, you create something, and you'll surprise yourself sometimes, and sometimes you won't, and sometimes you'll disappoint yourself. But I think it's like just allowing yourself to be in that, to be familiar in like, okay, I don't know where I am, I don't know who these people are, and we're going to make something, and that is it's thrilling.
Well, and it's something that honestly is a common denominator in actors that have been doing this 50 years too. I talk to them, and it's like day one is still day one. It's not like you have the secret code.
No.
You have to start from scratch, just like any actor.
Yes. And I suppose it's, again, this is by no means anything kind of approaching a complaint. It's just, it is, there's no other way around it other than being nervous.
Chase that, embrace it, come to terms with it.
Exactly.
Because otherwise...
You've got to put your arm around it and just be like, okay, I could look like a complete fool. I don't know. But you've just got to go, hey. But it's a very useful remedy, and a very kind of applicable lesson in life generally, I find. I think
yes, I think so.
You know that aunt or uncle that corners you at the family gathering and maybe asks you too pointed a question, and suddenly you find yourself fudging the truth about your life, about a relationship, about a job? That can't be you with your doctor. You need to be able to trust them. Enter ZocDoc, the place where you can find and book doctors who will make you feel comfortable and actually listen to you. And we're not talking about just a few. We're talking about tens of thousands of doctors, all with verified patient reviews, so you can make sure all the vibes are vibing before you even meet them in real life. With ZocDoc, you've got more options than you know. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you and instantly book appointments with them online. Once you find the doc you want, you book them immediately. There's no more waiting awkwardly on hold with a receptionist. And we're talking about booking appointments with tens of thousands of top-rated patient-reviewed doctors, credible doctors, and specialists. And you can filter for ones who actually take your insurance, are located near you, and treat basically any condition you're searching for. I've used ZocDoc, and you should too. Go to ZocDoc.com/happysad. Download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/happysad. ZocDoc.com/happysad.
So let's talk a little Stranger Things before we come up to the present. This is obviously a life-changing experience for you. Comes at a bizarre time. You start shooting right as COVID hits, of course. Eddie is just like a character that just pops off the screen and has became immediately a fan favorite. Did you have a beat on that character from the get-go? I know this wasn't like a huge audition process, actually. It was just a couple self-tapes. Did you know your way into that character right from what you read?
I suppose I must have done in a way. I think I had, like with anything, you have your interpretation of the character and you send it off, and it was one of those kind of situations where I've been sending tapes to this side of the world for years, and nada, and that's just the
Was there
way.
a close call? Was there one before Stranger Things
There
that was
might have
like,
been a
this
couple.
might be it, this might be the one?
There's been a couple of bites, but then it doesn't really go anywhere. But it's just the nature of it, And then, but this one was very disarming, because I sent a tape, and then they want you to do another tape, and then the Duffers called me and like, we want you to do it. And I mean, no one knew what I was doing over here at all, and nor should they. And it was very much a kind of are you sure? Like, I'm very...
This is not how it works, right?
Yes, a little bit like that.
Yeah.
And but it was a fascinating experience to be able to have access to, and I was very excited to kind of... I felt like there was nothing to lose, really. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it was... I'm far away from home. Go for it. And I had such a great gang on that, and that's the thing. It's like they are such wonderful, consummate, talented actors on that show, and it's a testament to the brothers in their how they handle casting. You know, casting is like one of the most important parts of that show. There's a lot of important parts, but those actors are able to elevate these characters into these people that people really, really love. Really love, and that's no small thing. So I think that I felt like there was a lot of trust, and I mean, the brothers have enough stuff to think about, so they were kind of just do the thing.
How much credit do you give the hair in the end for that
Most
performance?
of it.
No.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Were there other options? Was it like, this is it, this is the one? Like, did you go through a couple different wigs, or is it like that, this is the way to do it?
It was a bit of a process, to be honest.
Yeah?
There was something that was a little more elevated. It was kind of like a David Bowie labyrinth situation that they wanted me to adopt.
Right.
At that point, I just couldn't do it, and so we we would hack away at the wig, and we kind of found this kind of in between state between this kind of labyrinthian monster and something that kind of felt rooted somehow onto this planet. So I think we got there in the end.
You did.
But it was pretty. Yeah, it was a
journey.
It was
a journey towards hair.
It was enormous. You know?
It's like we're talking about a person.
Yeah.
It's also curious, like we were talking about, like the kids in the cast, like the age range on that cast is fascinating, like, and where you fit into it, because most of the actors are either quite a bit younger than you or quite a bit older than you. It's like kind of you and Joe Keery are kind of like the only guys kind of like in the same age range. So did you find, like, I don't know, like, where did you gravitate towards? Were you hanging out more with, I guess you did, we're doing more scenes with Gayton, et cetera, than Harbour and Winona?
Well, we were all in Atlanta during the pandemic, so it was a pretty prolonged shooting process, but we were very fortunate in the fact that a lot of the people would stay there. So Charlie Heaton, Natalia Dyer, Joe Keery, myself, Maya, Sadie, and the rest of the gang, we were all kind of knocking around, so we were able to kind of keep each other company. But it was a long shoot, definitely. It was prolonged.
How quickly did you get dropped from the text group once you were killed off?
I never really made it in.
He's just passing through, guys.
Banging on the door, just nothing.
There's no easy way for me to ask this or for you to answer this, but it is my responsibility to ask it. You know what's coming.
What is it?
Are you going to appear in the final season of Stranger Things? What happened?
No, she's just no.
There's not? There's literally nobody there. You're a good actor. He's not even looking at anybody.
Am I? You don't. She doesn't know.
She doesn't know. Is she a metaphor for
this? Vic, my publicist. She knows everything. She's just there.
Would it be disappointing? Would you be disappointed to see your friends finish out Stranger Things without a one little Eddie Munson flashback moment? Anything?
I'm excited to see how they do. I think it's going to be amazing. I've heard some ideas from the 5th season, and I think it's going to surpass all of our expectations. And I'm just excited to see. I'm not saying anything.
Wait, they've told you?
Yeah, I know everything.
Who has broken their silence? Who has told you?
I've heard like whispers. I've had to tie them to a chair and get it out of them. But I do know now. I know some bits, and it sounds very exciting. I'm very excited to see how they pull it off, and I've no doubt that it's very much within all of their capacities, like the showrunners, the direction, the cast, everything. I think it's going to be a wonderful swan song to that incredible TV show. Yeah.
Okay, which brings us to what's front and center right now, which is this insanely prosperous career. I mean, you must be pinching yourself with the opportunities the last few years. How quickly did it change? So the TV show comes out, it's received extraordinarily well. Your role was received extraordinarily well. Did you notice a difference immediately in terms of meetings, auditions, opportunities?
Well, I guess the most obvious change was I got representation here in America, which I didn't have before. But yeah, there were other little... I haven't had people kind of come up to me and go like that before. Yeah, that was
what people were doing.
Yeah, that was kind of what was happening, which takes an adjustment.
Yeah. How do you respond to that? Yep. Right back at you.
Yeah. No, you.
Take their energy and pour it right back at them, yeah.
I don't know. It's very odd. But it was amazing in terms of, like, I was here in New York, actually, and I met my agents here, and we had a lovely dinner, and then some opportunities started presenting themselves, and you have to be a little discerning, I suppose, in terms of which things you want to pick. I mean, I guess I had no experience in like picking anything. It was very much
I love this conversation I always have with actors, like, because you go from like taking anything, like you're so lucky to get anything,
yeah,
to then the switch just turns like that. You're like, oh wait, I have the opportunity and the responsibility to actually say no and craft a career now.
Responsibility is a good word for it, and it feels a little lofty, kind of like saying it, but it's a completely different lens to look at your work through. Yeah. It's like if you have the opportunity to kind of be selective, like that's a gift and such a luxury, and I really hope that never goes away, that feeling of no, I don't think it will. I'm so grateful to be able to have a bit more choice, and with that comes a kind of different hat that you have to put on. But it's definitely one I'm enjoying, I think. Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
So one of those first choices, opportunities, is why you're here today, which is A Quiet Place, Day One, which is a fantastic new extension of the universe. And it's you and Lupita Nyong'o front and center. Come on.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that. Michael Sarnowski, for those that don't know, a very talented filmmaker, did Pig. Check it out. Great film. A challenging role in different respects. Very physical role, maybe the most physical performance you've had to give thus far. Is that part of the challenge and excitement of taking this on?
I don't think it read as something that was going to be the most physical, but then it kind of, as we were doing it, seemed like, okay, being quiet is like, it's a full body gig.
Well, I was going to say, but even your introduction to the film, and not to like ruin anything, like once water's involved, this is not a good day at the office. It
is a good day at the office. It's a fun day at the office, but really it's a good day for the character. Yeah,
right.
But it was great fun. Yeah, sorry, what did you ask?
I had no coherent thought, don't worry. But the opportunity also just to be essentially one-on-one most of the time with Lupita, who is just sublime, one of our best. I don't know, what do you pick up from that extended time working with Lupita?
It's a rare opportunity, certainly. Being in an orbit like that, being in someone's orbit like Lupita, she is one of a kind. She is fiercely talented, kind, composed, vulnerable, everything that you could possibly want from a scene partner. And I guess, as you said, this film provided an opportunity where I could get into numerous scenes with someone like that. Someone as accomplished and as powerful. Like, it's in her soul
presence, just like she is. She's got it.
It's that, and the camera sees all of that, and it's like that. You can't really foster that. You can't cultivate that. That's just a person. That's like it's like in her bones. So I learned a lot, as you can imagine, just on and off set, of how one conducts oneself, how someone like that conducts themselves. Like she is. Working with her was another kind of apprenticeship in a way, just of how to be able to access herself in her art and how to perform, but then also how to move through this kind of confusing stuff that we were talking about.
Well, she went through a semi-similar thing, like
Of course.
like obviously with 12 Years a Slave, and
Yes.
suddenly from anonymity to
Exactly.
and having to make those choices.
And to watch someone handle those choices and handle themselves with a grace that is so rare on this earth is just a gift to be around.
Yeah.
And I've learned a lot from her, and will continue to, God willing. Yeah.
Let me ask you a stupid junkety kind of question that you'll probably get.
Oh, go on.
You like
Yeah.
you like these?
Yeah.
The movie kind of hinges on pizza, which I appreciate as a New Yorker,
Good.
as a lover of pizza. Where are you at on pizza? Are you a pizza snob?
Are you going to do the pineapple question?
What's that you're shaking? You're
The pineapple on pizza question that people do?
I wasn't going to, but now I kind of want to.
Well, it's horrible that it's such a divisive question, isn't it? And it's an indicator.
You're
for
triggered. I can see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like, so do you like it or do you not like it? I'm kind of indifferent to it. What about us? What about the people that don't care?
We exist too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
am
I'm with you actually.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, it's fine.
Some people
Okay.
are like traumatized by it. Some people are evangelical about the pineapple has to be on the pizza.
Right.
Let's talk about something else.
Right.
And yet I raised it.
Do you have, well, clearly, again,
Yeah.
do you have strong food tastes? Do you have, like, are you like cilantro must be burned at the stake? Or you?
No,
Yeah.
I also don't believe those people. Just saying.
You're saying people that say they hate cilantro.
Like, oh, blah, I can't- it's a herb. It's fine. Eat it.
Now we're getting the good stuff.
Yeah.
What do you hate? What food do you react to like
What
that?
else do you hate?
Yeah, give me your hates, your hate list.
Hates.
Good.
Food, no hates. I
No
love all
hates.
food, really. I do.
You're something of a cook, I understand.
I do like to cook a lot. I haven't been cooking as much recently, but I like to cook a lot. I don't get to cook a lot. But when I do cook, I cook and it's good fun.
Okay, for your loved ones, for your new best friend Josh. Josh, come on over. You're gonna make me feel good.
Roast you a chicken. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have you around and I'm going to roast you a chicken.
I don't like the unbroken eye contact that you said that. That was
You
really
didn't like
upset.
that?
That upset me.
I'll roast you a chicken.
I mean, I'm sure many people would pay big money for Joe Quinn to say, "I'll roast you a chicken" to them. I'm not one of them.
Okay. That won't happen again. That's done.
So that's your go-to.
I would
That's
invite you around and I would roast you a chicken whenever you'd like.
okay,
Better?
Yeah, that was good. What else is on the menu? All you get is roast chicken.
It's chicken.
No apps.
You get no apps. You get some. There's some spuds there, some veg there. There'll be a kind of lemony gravy there, or some kind of like seasonal salad, which is quite like a kind of raw spinach, kind of feta-y, pumpkin seeds, and then like depending on the seasonal vegetable, that's kind of like my kind of staple get out of jail card, because it's easy to roast a chicken, isn't it? And it's not. It is. And then
Spoiler, it is.
And then you can just do some kind of seasonal salad with it, and it's that's the thing. It's like something that's easy, but it's when you're moving around all the time, you don't really get to cook.
You
all
don't
the time.
carry your equipment with you.
No.
You walked into this room with a whole setup.
There you go.
All right, back to the work. Let's talk about the
Right.
tough stuff that you can't talk about yet, but we can talk abstractly. You shot Gladiator 2, which is,
It's done.
I mean, congratulations, you got through it.
Thank you.
I mean, we were talking about like those films we grew up with. You might as well have been talking about, Ridley Scott movies on Laserdisc. I grew up with those films.
Nice.
Ridley is a hell of a filmmaker, and for a unique filmmaker, an intense filmmaker. How did you adapt to the Ridley Scott experience? What was it like?
He's a force of nature.
He is.
It was amazing. I think for a lot of the cast there, myself, Fred, Paul, the oh god, I can't even say it. I guess like the younger members of the cast. Pedro's going to fucking
Yeah, where does Pedro fit in?
sorry.
You're saying, oh wow.
That film, Gladiator, was such a pivotal and seminal film for us growing up, and not just that demographic, like our age demographic. It was. I remember just watching it and thinking, this is one of those films. Like, how have they done this? The story was so strong, performances were amazing, the art design was just like. It transported you.
Yeah.
And so the idea that they were going to make it again, I kind of had this knee-jerk reaction: don't go near it.
Sure.
Don't leave it. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And then I started hearing whispers of casting, and I heard that Denzel Washington was involved, and then that Paul Mescal was going to be the lead in it, who I think is just so gifted and perfect in that role. And so it seemed like, okay, they might be going for it on this one. I think they might be trying to do it right. Then an opportunity came along that I could throw my hat in the ring. I did, and then it was quite a quick disarming process, and kind of they invited me on the team like pretty quickly, and then from there it was kind of the maddest experience of my life in a way. Don't think it's going to get kind of madder than that, but an extraordinary thing to put, just in terms of the fact that Ridley he builds worlds, doesn't he? So he built ancient Rome. Yeah. So to kind of bear witness to all of that, let alone participate in the making of it, was a privilege. I made sure that my family were there to see it, because like, this isn't going to happen again.
For anyone. I mean, no one makes movies like that.
No.
Practically speaking, he runs like 8-9 cameras. It's giant sets. It's animals. It's like what? This is how they made movies back in the day. They don't do it like this anymore.
Well, I don't think anyone can. It's the way he marshals it all with such profound confidence. Yeah. And he's got these, the 8 cameras going at once, and I'm just like, he's like, you gotta know where to fucking put them.
That's the gift.
That's it. I'm like, so how do you do it? It's just, you just gotta know where to put them.
Okay.
But we had an amazing time. I've made some fantastic friends on it. Working with Denzel Washington was obviously, that doesn't never happen. So I learned a lot from him, and kind of watching him work and trying to keep up with him was extraordinary. Paul is devastating in this film. I don't think people are ready for it.
Wow.
Fred Heckinger, we played these Emperor brothers, which was he's just a delight. Connie Nielsen came back to kind of look after us and give us some tips, which was amazing. And she's brilliant. I mean, I haven't seen the film, but I watched her do her thing, and it was like, she's mentioned how surreal it was. And then I met Pedro on that film, and it was a really rare experience, and we had a great time. And I'm excited for it to. Am I excited? Yeah, I'm excited.
I think you should be excited.
I'm nervous, but what are you going to do?
The word on the street is good. I'm very excited for all the reasons you said. And then we come to the film you haven't shot a frame of yet, but it's going to be a big one. It's Fantastic Four.
Yep.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
This is a big moment. So. Long audition process? I mean, seeming from my vantage point, like they were casting this movie for a year. Were you like meeting 10 different times, 10 different auditions? Can you give me a sense of what it was like?
It was pretty straightforward, I guess. As straightforward as it can be. I had a chat with Matt, and then it kind of moved a little bit beyond that, and then they kind of invited me to come on. So it was a pretty, again, I don't know what's going on. So it was pretty wild. And when it was clear that with the casting of it, Eben Moss-Backrack, Vanessa Kirby, Pedro Pascal, they're all brilliant actors, brilliant actors. So it felt like a real. They're trying to do something interesting with this, I think.
And it has to obviously work as a team. It's a team movie, and that quartet, that relationship. Like, have you spent a lot of time with them, figuring out that dynamic is going to work?
We've got some rehearsals, which I think will be helpful. Yeah. We have a group chat, and so we're kind of talking on there. But I think a lot of it will just come down to what it's like all being together. And I think that I know Pedro. And I've heard wonderful things about the other two, so I think we're going to have a nice gang on it, and I think that's what we're trying to do. It's selling this family, and I'm really looking forward to it.
When you got the call that it was official, that it was happening, is that top 3-5 moments in the career? Is that like, what do you do? Who do you call? Pinch me moment?
Yes, certainly a pinch me moment. Who did I call? I think I called my dad. And that was pretty, it's lovely.
Did you grow up into comics?
Yeah, not as much as some people are, definitely.
Sure. Well, it's all relative.
Yes, definitely is relative. Some people really, really like them. But Fantastic Four was definitely one that would find itself on my lap sometimes, and Johnny Storm he's like just such a treat of a character. So I'm looking forward to kind of getting in there.
Are you in the middle of prep right now? Like, are you like...
I'm setting myself on fire every morning.
You're
gasoline.
holding up very well.
Yes, thank you.
How many hours have you spent in the mirror saying flame on?
Like 1 hour probably collectively,
right,
of flame-ons.
Do you want to give me a version that you're not going to do? What's the flame on we're not getting?
Is it on? What on?
Fine.
Flame. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. You got a long way to go.
Yeah.
And not to mention, by the way, just to say, the supporting cast. I mean, you got Malkovich.
I know,
Come
man.
on.
He's one of my all-time favorites.
As he should be.
And I just can't wait to watch it. I remember I watched Dangerous Liaisons when I was very young. Not too young, but young enough to kind of what he does in that film, and being John Malkovich, and I mean obviously Con Air, like there's so many. Burn After Reading. I watched that again recently.
Oh, that's an underrated Coen Brothers.
He's so funny in that opening scene.
A memoir.
This is a crucifixion. I just think he's just dynamite, isn't he? He's dynamite. So I think it will be another education.
It'll be an adventure.
Exactly.
Amazing. Speaking of it, let's just talk about filmmakers. So you've worked with some amazing ones. Coen Brothers on the list of any young actor.
Of course.
What is the short list? What's your not secret or not so secret filmmaker obsessive list that you'd want to work with?
I mean, I think Paul Thomas Anderson is a fairly obvious one, but I adore his films. I watched a wonderful film called Limbo, recently. Limbo.
John Sayles?
No, it was directed by a man called Ben Sharrock.
Okay.
It was a wonderful indie film a few years ago. That's just something that pops to mind.
I mean, like that, we thought for a second it was Dumbo.
Dumbo.
And that you were going...
It's Tim...
I mean, he's great too.
He's great. I'd love to work with Tim Burton. That would be amazing. Michael Mann. That would be cool.
You hit 30
Catherine
this year.
Bigelow.
You got goals? Are you goal driven? Is it like by 35 I need to work with this person, do this kind of thing? Or
if I'm honest, I think if like you set yourself up with those kind of goals, you're gonna be pretty unhappy. I think so much of it is out of our control.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think that all you can do is put yourself in a situation where you're prepared. You have to be prepared for opportunities. But I think, I mean, short of like writing to these people, which like maybe I should do, I don't know. That's not going to happen. So I think it's just being open to the opportunities that present themselves and having some kind of instinct as to whether that's something that you should go for. And if it's something you want to say, ultimately, I think you can't. It's a career, obviously, but it's also like you've got to be getting some kind of creative outlet from it, or some kind of creative lesson from it. So otherwise it can become a little procedural, and I think what I imagine is it can become a little procedural, and then I think that the joy goes a little bit.
Right.
And I think with anything, like when you stop enjoying it, then you can become resentful.
Right.
And I don't want that. I want it to always be challenging, and for it to be putting me out of my comfort zone. That's where I think you've got to be, as you know, at the risk of using grandiose terms like artists, you've got to be uncomfortable. If you're doing something that feels like it's going to be easy, and that you kind of know your way around it and how to, like, which buttons to press or which chords to play, then you're not really going to grow. I don't think. At the risk of being a little earnest.
No, it's okay. We got the silliness out of the way. I need
there
some
we go.
We need a balance in this.
Serious now.
Speaking of serious theater, I mean, you're a busy guy. Would you want to get back? We'd want you on stage here in New York.
I'd love to. I think. Would I love to? I think I just lied to you. I don't think I would love to. I think I'd find it scary. Yeah. I think I'd find it scary. I think I'd like to.
You shared the stage with Olivia Colman.
She's fantastic. Yes, but I was younger then. It was like I don't know. There's a fearlessness.
Getting more fearful now.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely. I think you doubt. I think when I was at drama school and you're a younger actor, it's like you're just there's a fearlessness. There's a kind of
Sure.
like, why not? I'll try it. And I'm trying to cling on to that.
Yeah. Now there's stakes. Now people know who you are.
It's a little bit like that. Yeah. Yeah. But I would definitely be open to doing a play again, but only if Olivia's there.
She'll carry you
Yeah.
on her back.
Yeah, that would be
Musical? Are you a musical guy?
great. I mean, I wouldn't want to subject anyone to that.
Generally speaking?
Generally speaking, do I like them? I went to see Hell's Kitchen the other day.
okay.
The Alicia Keys musical.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing, beautiful. Would you want to see me centre stage? Probably not. Would you pay money? Definitely not. So wouldn't want to.
Can you carry a tune or you karaoke?
I can sing along with everyone else, just fine. Quietly with everyone else, I can sing a song.
See, I
But
respect
I'm not
that.
banging out an aria at like.
Because I feel
belting
like
that out.
nowadays, every actor I speak to feels the need to do everything. And it's like, you don't have to do everything. You have to know yourself.
Don't do everything.
There are professionals that can do the musical.
But at the same time, why not challenge yourself?
Obviously, now you want to do musical.
Yeah.
Now you're
You
like,
want-
now, Josh, you're saying I can't do it? I'm fucking doing it.
Interesting. No, I would. It would be a very different kind of palette to paint with, wouldn't it? I think just
Yeah.
kind of that's a very different thing. I don't know if I have access to that, if that's within my capabilities. I doubt I do, but maybe down the line we'll
Okay.
give it a go.
Let's end with the happy, sad, confused, profoundly random questions.
Yes.
Are you a dog or cat guy?
Got dog.
Yes.
Dog.
Correct.
Don't mind cats.
No,
like,
no.
fine.
Yeah.
But I am a little kind of ambivalent to them. It's
Do you have
like-
a dog? Or is dogs?
My stepdad has a dog in Italy called Poppy, an old English sheepdog. She's to die for.
What do you collect?
What do I collect? I don't really. I've started. I bought my first painting actually, but I don't know if that's a collection. But it's my favourite thing that I own. I look at it every day, and maybe one day
Is it a
I'll-
painting of yourself? It's
It
a
is.
portrait someone you got commissioned?
Yeah. It's just it's it's a collage of fan art in my kitchen. No, I mean I love the fan art, but this painting is incredible. Yeah, I saw it at an art fair and I bought it, and I'm very lucky to have that. So maybe I'll add to that, and
Okay.
maybe that'll become a collection. Can you believe that? I'm an art collector. Can you believe
Once
that?
you hit 30, you became so
Shut
classy.
up.
What's the wallpaper on your phone?
Charlie Heaton from Stranger Things. Yeah, it's about 4 years old.
Why?
I don't know.
Is it an embarrassing photo? Is it just...
It's upside down,
Okay.
which is kind of funny, and he's in a pub, and we did it as a joke, I think, and the joke's still making me chuckle. There you
I
go.
think we need to grab the phone. Can we grab the phone? I need to see this. Last actor you were mistaken for?
Justin Timberlake.
Well, this week, that's not the best thing. It's the hair. It's the hair. Yeah. People just see the hair.
Yes. I've had that for a while, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you've had... Really?
Yeah, people say, oh, Justin Timberlake. I go, thanks.
Yeah. Worst note a director has ever given you?
Silent thumbs. That's a killer.
What's wrong? Why? That's
Because
validation.
it's not, no, it's a little, like, nearly there. It's like,
Oh, we're getting there. But no actual...
again? Okay.
Is there something that is a pet peeve for you on a set? What gets under your skin?
Phones going off, obviously.
Yeah.
That is maddening. Pet peeve. Yeah, just that, really. I think.
Okay.
I mean, it's people's jobs. It does get a little tiresome. Get the
Right.
thing in the face just before when you're about to do the thing.
Yeah.
But everyone's doing their job.
Yeah. But to maintain that concentration, that's the marvel. That's the true test of an actor, is like how you shut out all the noise.
It is a little bit. Yeah, that's how. Yeah. Well, is it shutting it out or letting it be there? It's It changes. But I'd say phones going off. No
Yeah.
excuse.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Do you have a special ringtone? Is it Charlie Heaton's?
Singing a song.
Yeah, exactly.
Singing the Stranger Things theme song.
How do the words go to that? I missed that.
Da-na-na-na-na-na. He's doing that. It's
Oh,
Charlie
just on a
Heaton
loop.
doing that.
Oh my gosh. Could drive a man insane. And finally, in the spirit of happy, set confused, an actor that makes you happy. Always makes you happy. You see him on screen.
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
The best. Who's like a hug on screen.
It's like, are you a Mrs. Doubtfire or are you a...
All of them. I mean, Hook, he's so gorgeous in. Mrs. Doubtfire as well. Flubber.
You're a Flubber
Good Will
man.
Hunting. Flubber. I mean, it's a weird film, obviously. Jumanji. Like, even the weird films, he's just
A 1 hour
extraordinary.
photo, the dramas too. Come on. Like,
What's that, sorry?
have you seen 1 hour photo?
No.
Dude.
Yeah.
This is him as like a serial killer, basically.
Oh, okay.
Go the
I've
other
never
way.
seen that.
See it.
I'm
Mark
gonna watch
Romanek
that.
directed. Very good movie.
Okay.
Yeah. On the list. Movie that makes you sad.
Life is Sweet. Life is...
Life is that Mike Lee movie? No, or is that or Life is Beautiful?
Life is Beautiful.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes me sad.
Yeah.
Um,
What just happened? You good?
yeah,
You
that
good?
makes me sad.
You
Yeah.
good? Okay.
I just, vibrated.
I have that effect on people. And we kind of covered this, but food that makes you confused. You sound like you're open to all foods. You're good.
I just think it's all there to be eaten and enjoyed. And when people say I don't like certain cuisines, or we can have preferences, but
Sure.
just
yeah.
eat the mushroom.
I don't like mushrooms.
Eat the eggplant.
I don't like mushrooms.
You do.
No, I
really,
don't. No, I
you
really
do. Because they're mushrooms and they're fine.
I mean, but they're so the
Oh,
texture.
is it the texture. This is the thing that people say. What's wrong with the texture?
We all can't be so as evolved as Joe Quinn.
It's
I'm
not
sorry.
It's a mushroom.
You can make me a roast chicken.
I'm going to make you a roast chicken, and there might be a mushroom or two in there. If you don't want them, they won't be there, but there'll be a side. There'll be an option.
Okay.
And you might like them. I can do some nice mushrooms for you.
Okay. Thank you for the time, Joe. It's
Thank
been a pleasure.
you for
Congratulations
having
on the
me.
new film. And we'll catch up again soon. A
I
lot
hope
going
so.
on.
I hope so. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, buddy.
And so ends another edition of Happy, Sad, Confused. Remember to review, rate, and subscribe to this show on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm a big podcast person. I'm Daisy Ridley, and I definitely wasn't pressured to do this by Josh.